past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of the singing of birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land. Here it comes. He struck him out, and Morris has a no-hitter.
There's a drive to left. That one is long gone.
You don't want to walk you.
There's a long drive to right, and it is a home run for Gibson. A three-run homer. The Tigers bring it 8-4.
There's a long drive all the left down the line. If it stays there, it's gone. If they fair ball, hits the facing of the upper deck. Home run number 50 for Central Fielder.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Roar Live Eyes on the Tigers edition. Well, the first game of the season is completed.
First game completed.
And 5-4, Dodgers take the first. No surprise here a little bit. When you look at the score, hey, it is what it is. First game, you're gonna have to deal with a lot, aren't you?
First game you got to deal with a lot.
And you got to deal with a team that won the World Series.
Yep.
And looking to go back to the World Series.
Yep.
And they have the firepower to do it.
They do. From the lineup to the pitching to the bullpen, they have it all. They're one of those teams that have it all.
5-4 if you haven't checked the scoreboard.
Yep.
They play tonight again. Mm-hmm. Jack Flaherty is on the mound for the Detroit Tigers. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Let's do it.
The Dodgers would score first on a long home run into left field to put them up 1-0. The Tigers would score on a wild pitch. This one would tie things up. And then it was the Tigers again, a long home run. Tagging up, a sac fly. And he scores in. Mm-hmm. Then it was Teoscar Hernandez to deep center field to make this game 4-2.
He does that a lot.
And Torkelson, who has
your guy,
solidified his position so far in the first game, hits a home run. We'll talk more about that. The Dodgers would get back on the board again on this home run into left field to make things 5-3. Shohei Ohtani. And the Tigers would score one more time on a sac fly. And that would be the scoring for the Detroit Tigers. Kerry Carpenter on that sac fly.
Yeah.
5-4 Dodgers win this one.
Mm-hmm.
Any takes on the game? Did you watch much of it?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I liked how Ibanez came out, very aggressive. He played very well at third base. So they may have something there.
Okay.
Your guy Torque ran into one, but he does that. But the thing is, can he sustain that? Will that be, him? I don't know what he's better at from the right side or the left, but he hit a, home run from the right side yesterday.
If he platoons, I want to say Ibanez is he's a lefty, so I think he bats against right-handers. And then I'm
talking about Torque.
Oh, Torkelson.
Yeah, Torque. I don't know what he's better at. Left, if he's on the left side of the plate, I don't have those numbers, or if he's better on the right side. But he ran into one last night from the right side.
Well, he is only one of 6 players in Tiger history to go 1 for 1, and he drew 4 walks last night.
He did draw 4 walks. That's a good sign.
Yeah, considering he was a strikeout machine last year.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a very good sign.
The
of
ball.
course, it's just the first game of the season, but, I'm rooting for Torkelson to turn things around. If he hits, he stays in the lineup.
Period. Point blank.
But here's the thing. Do they
He's got to hit
play
better than
him
190
at first, or are they going to keep him at DH?
I don't know. That's the question. This offense and this team is musical chairs. You never know what's going to be thrown out there. So I don't have any definite answers. That's going to be all up to AJ. But it looks like it's going to be musical chair. And the Tigers, and I know it's the first game, but they have some issues. I watched the game. They in a nutshell,
I agree with you.
The Tigers can't hit.
That's going to be their problem.
They can't hit.
Scoring runs for Scooble, scoring runs for Flaherty.
They can't hit. That
Your guy Torres had a pretty decent night last night.
Glaber,
2 for 5.
Yeah. Now the thing with him, we're going to watch him. I'm going to watch him closely because he hit in front of Soto. You get a lot of good pitches when you hit in front of Soto. You know what I mean? So I'm going to watch. He's going to be a key factor. Like I said, I liked Ibanez at third. I liked how he came out. He came out very aggressive. Played a great third base, good third base, very solid. And my thing is, if you get to Scooble, if you get to him, because every pitcher can be gotten to.
Sure.
But he's just so good, he doesn't get gotten to a lot. But if you get to him, Tigers are. I mean, that's another. That's if he loses, and he's out there. What's the rotation? Every 5 starts or whatever. But
yeah,
you get to Scooble, they're in trouble. They're in trouble right now. And I know it's the first game of 162 games, but it's either you can't leave 14, 15 bases in scoring position.
Sure.
That's never going to win you any ball game. That's not going to win you a division. It's not going to win you a bunch of ball games. So that's the concerning factor. And, of course, we just got word. I don't know if we said it last week. Meadows is out until May. But he's an up and down, type hitter. So they have to hit, and they have to hit collectively. That's the concern from what I saw last night.
Manny Margot, who was just signed right before the season began, was 2 for 3 last night with a RBI. Looking here, also McKinstry got on base. Rogers had a hit. Kreidler had a hit.
Rogers going to keep the mustache?
That is a. I don't remember the mustaches looking all that crazy back in the 80s when people wore them.
It looked orange. Was it orange?
Maybe he's a ginger. I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
But I mean, you're right. You're definitely right. I mean, when you're looking at who's got a hit, Ibanez didn't get a hit. Sweeney didn't get a hit. Colt Keith batted 5 times, didn't get a hit.
He looked terrible.
Baez went 0 for 2.
Yeah, there's no shocker. There's not a shocker.
But, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, Scooble, 5 innings, he only gave up 6 hits. Of course, he did give up 5 runs, only struck out 2.
See, then that's the thing. And it's early, and this is where pitchers get hurt and things like that, and they try to, go from Florida to the warm weather, even though it's in LA, but it's still 50 degrees.
Sure.
It's not like Florida. A buddy of mine is down there with his son, said it's 80. So he's down there with his son. They're getting prep, high school baseball. But that's the thing. If Scooble is done in 5, the Tigers are done. They're done. I need Scooble at least 7. At least 7. See, because he's the one true solid rock that they have. Not even Riley Green. Riley Green's not. Riley Green is. I know people want to propel him as he's not a superstar. He's not a superstar. He's not even a star yet. He was an all-star because you have to. I think in baseball you have to have one player, and he was the best player last year. Him and Scooble, but if I need Scooble. If you can get him in 5, you can get to him in 5. Tigers are probably going to lose that ball game. And now Flaherty's up, and I like Flaherty, but the Yankees didn't want him. People didn't want him because of his injuries. They were concerned about that. So, but there were some things that I did see. Tigers came out swinging the bat, and that's what you need to do. Get to those pitchers before they start getting their pitches developed, those splitters and curveballs and things like that. Jump right out up on them. So I did like that. But it's going to be a long season, man. It just is. I think it's going to be a long season because you start off leaving 14, 13 runners in scoring position. That's not going to – this is a major league. That's not going to win you any games. It's going to be hard to win games. And some of the Dodgers hitters, they didn't even really go off, like they can. So, and Ohtani, he's just so strong. He just hits the ball to the
And
opposite
Teoscar
field.
Hernandez is another one.
Yeah.
Another guy I wish the Tigers would have went after.
Yep. So,
I mean, but when you look at these opening day rosters, what I found out in reading is Toledo sent down. They sent down Jason Foley, who was their leader in saves last year, and Andrew Chafin. They dropped him to AAA.
why? Did it?
I don't know if you have to put Maida in there.
Oh, okay.
Because, with that big contract to see how he pans out, and then them picking up Tommy Conley from the Yankees. I mean, I know you're probably going to see them come up here sooner than later.
Yeah.
Probably after the first road trip, they'll probably get a grip on who they're going to keep and bring back down,
Yeah.
I'm sure, before opening day on April 4th.
Yeah, April 4th. Shout out to opening day. And because right now, this is what does Sparky always used to say? Give me 40.
Yeah.
Give me 30, 40. So let's get back into that. And especially with the pitching. You want to see what that pitching does. But the lineup is just throwing darts. You're just throwing darts right now.
Is it alarming, though, that your first baseman, Cole Keith, goes 0 for 5 in his first game?
It's very alarming. He looked terrible. He looked terrible.
Do you think he looked terrible because he probably wasn't familiar with the NL Dodger pitching, or is it maybe him getting used to first base? What do you think?
That could be it. It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing, hitting and fielding.
But like I said, though,
And playing out of your position.
Yeah, but I've said it a long time ago. A lot of players struggle their second year.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, and I'm not trying to go off and say because he could go 5 for 5 tonight.
Right.
But I just feel like they have a lot to really kind of look at over the next month or two.
Yeah, and AJ knows way more than I do.
Sure.
But I think I would put Torkelson at first.
You'd put him back in first?
Put him back at first. Put him back at first. DH Keith, platoon him with Torres. I don't know. Maybe try Torres at third, but I did find Torres has never played third base. He never played Major League third base. Ever. Not in spring, ever. So they have a lot of thinking to do. And one thing is for certain, you keep hitting, they're going to find a way for you in that lineup somewhere, because that's the key. So give it a little bit of time. First game, but Colt didn't look sharp yesterday, and a lot of players like it's the first, like Snell. He walked, so it's, he walked Torque 4 times. You know what I mean? So it's
Sure.
It's the beginning. The weather hasn't broke, so we will see. But the concern is they have to hit. And they weren't a good hitting team last year. They got on a hot run, but they have to hit. You can't leave those many runners in scoring position. That's the difference.
It makes you wonder today, the Tigers, in a trade, picked up Brewer Hicklin from the Brewers. He was a 7th overall pick by the Kansas City Royals in 2017. Last year, only 5 at bats. So basically, in the minors last year, he had a little bit. He had 6 games with KC in 22. You think this is a depth piece, or do you think that they're just kind of swinging for the fences here?
Yeah.
Maybe trying to find, trying to get the diamond out of the rough, so to speak.
Yep, that's exactly what I think they're doing.
Because he was going to be designated for assignment for the Brewers. So, I don't know. I don't know much about him other than that. He does bat both.
Yeah, okay.
And they need some right-handed hitting.
They do. They desperately need some.
He's 29.
Okay.
I'm looking at his minor league stats here. His best year was in 2022 when he came up to Kansas City. In Omaha, he hit 28 home runs. Last year in Nashville, he had 22 home runs. So hopefully they're trying to find something, a power piece here.
At this point, you almost have to. You have to kind of.
Because you're not going to get a lot of home runs from Ibanez.
Yeah.
And especially with who they have.
You're not going to get a lot of home runs from anybody.
Yeah. I'd like to see if Manny Margot, he had a good game. He was okay. He's never been like a career 300 hitter or anything else like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think they need guys to really solidify those spots until Parker Meadows gets back, once Seal Perez gets back.
Now, the one kid in center, he did make a good catch last night.
Yeah.
Very good catch last night in center. What's his name? Is it Kryler?
Kryler, yeah.
But yeah, you have to kind of figure it out because it's early and try to get that diamond in the rough. Hopefully somebody can come up and just start tearing the cover off the ball and maybe has a solid position that they can put in. Because right now they look like a minor league team on paper.
Sure.
And I'm not too sure I would run Bias back out at short. Now they said he played some outfield. And they said he played some third in spring training. I didn't watch any of the spring training, but they did say that. I think they need a fresh start over there.
Sure.
I don't think I would run him back out there. But yeah, you have to find something that gives you a little bit of solidarity because, like I said, it's musical chairs with the lineup. The pitching, we know what's going to happen there. It looks like they have.
Well, let me ask you something. I was talking to a gentleman today at the restaurant, and he seen the Tiger cap I got on, and we started talking about.
I saw another one of those too.
Started talking about the Tigers game, and he brought up the point, and I thought it was a pretty good point.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Why didn't the Tigers bring in a left-hander to go up against Ohtani? A lefty on a lefty." But is Ohtani just that good?
Percentage-wise, great. Ohtani's hit anybody.
Yeah.
Kind of doesn't matter, but you still take your chances with the percentages.
Sure.
That's just old baseball stuff. You know what I mean? Like lefty on lefty.
Especially with the game that close.
Yeah, lefty on lefty. But
I mean, 5-4.
That's a good point.
I thought so.
That's a good point.
Is this do you think this is a managing gaff, so to speak,
Well,
for Hinch?
Well, I'm a Hinch guy. Hinch guy, Francona, Bochy. Hinch will tell you. He doesn't have a problem with telling you if he made a snafu or whatever. Check him out on Tuesday. He'll tell you. Yeah, I'm sure some people are going to ask him about it, but he'll tell you. Maybe he was thinking something else.
Maybe.
Obviously, the pitcher missed his pitch.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So, but Ohtani's plate coverage is like it's ridiculous. The guy hit a home run to the opposite field.
Yeah.
So you're going up against a Hall of Famer, arguably with the best player in baseball. So yeah, but yeah, it could have been. I get what the gentleman was saying. Let's try it.
At least, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Well, we know that the Tigers will be opening up on April 4th in Detroit.
Yes.
Against the White Sox, who
won
last night.
They put up 8 runs.
Yeah.
Yankees are in first place, by the way. Just
of course you did.
Yankees are in first place.
But I was reading some articles. The Detroit Free Press. It's always a good time to go down to see a game at Comerica.
Yeah.
And they also have a lot. They have a lot of good food vendors and stuff. But I was looking here, and an all-star lineup of local foods, food trucks, and unique cuisines are going to be headed to Comerica Park.
Okay.
Looking here in this article, what stuck out to me is Slows.
That's the rib place, right?
Yes.
That's the pulled pork and all that?
Yes. Yep.
So, yeah. Now, that's right. Now, where's that located? That's on Michigan Ave, correct?
Michigan Avenue, right in front of the train station.
Have you ever been there?
I have.
How is it?
It's very good. I've been on Slows since they were the first time I heard about them was Adam Richmond, I think. he used to do a show on the Food Network.
Okay.
And he would go around and try out different foods and stuff like that in different states, and that was one of them.
Yeah. So opening day, don't eat any breakfast. Just go down there and just pick out. Sometimes I go down there and walk around, go from a bar here to that bar there, whatever. But restaurant here. So Slows is the menu. Is it all a barbecue thing or is it?
That's a good question.
Because I've never been there.
They have another cuisine or restaurant, vendor, whatever you want to call it, called Breadless. I've never heard of that. So I'm assuming that might be maybe salads or maybe appealing to the vegetarian vegan
It's
crowd?
called Breathless?
Breadless.
Oh, Breadless. Oh, okay. Okay.
They also have a new home plate club,
Okay.
which they say will have a scratch kitchen. New items will be created every day during those 81 home games. Also, they have smash burgers from Fairway Packing. You ever had a smash burger?
I have.
Did you like it?
Yes. It's pretty good.
Better than Five Guys?
Kind of the
I've never
same.
had
Kind
one.
of same type deal.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of same type deal.
They also have, looking here, a tomahawk steak. Now, who would want to eat a steak during a Tiger game? Doesn't that just kind of over the top?
You don't want to. I mean,
And I'm sure if it's a tomahawk, you're probably going to pay more for the steak than you are for your ticket that you're sitting in to watch the Tigers.
Yeah. You're going to pay more for that.
Maybe that's up in the suites.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
probably
know.
that's probably a sweet thing.
Okay.
Because one thing about Comerica, I go to Comerica for the brats.
Okay.
They have amazing brats, and their hot dogs are great. So that's opening day is the hot dogs, the sodas, the beer, the chips. The pizzas are too hot to eat, so I don't even bother with those. The Little Caesars, those are the hottest pizza. Those are real hot and ready.
The $15 hot and readies. Do they taste any different?
They're hotter.
They're hotter.
So they're better, but it's hard to get to them.
Okay.
It's one of those things.
Okay.
But Comerica is amazing, man. It's a great ballpark. Like, I love it. Don't like it better than, the old Tiger Stadium, but Comerica is good. Everything is there. You can grab. You can stand and watch game. Everywhere is a good place to see to see. So who do the Tigers open up with?
The Tigers
White
open
Sox?
up with the White Sox.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're trying to. Okay. They normally open. Usually they open up with the White Sox.
Or the Twins.
Or the Twins,
Or something like
yeah.
that.
So-
So what fans can expect
The Tigers are in last place, too, by the way.
in Section 119, the Big Cat Court, that's where Smashburger will be at.
So they just added this court?
I don't know if they've added it. It looks like it is. This is new. Chickpea Power Bowls, which I like that.
Chickpea Power
Yeah.
Bowl. What's in that?
It says rice, chickpeas, tabbouleh, garlic sauce, hummus, pita chips, with an add-on chicken option. Also available at the shawarma section.
No, you lost me at hummus.
In Section 140, breadless, which is their unique take on sandwiches without the bread, wrapped in Swiss chard and lettuce leaves, is back. Oh, so must be back with a health-conscious options. I don't know. I didn't see that there last year.
I'm not going to the ballpark to be healthy.
Yeah, I could see.
We can do, you know what I mean? Like, grab a hot dog.
They'll have jerk chicken and mango.
Okay.
Avocado turkey.
Okay.
Spicy falafel. Southwest rice bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So, usually when you went to the Tiger game, you don't really think about those options.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Sounds like some good food options there to have. Like, hey, Comerica, like I said, they have everything there. You can buy your jerseys. You can do the carnival. You can do. I think they do the after the game. The kids run around. They still do that. I'm sure they do. Yeah. A lot of options there. And then I think they have the daiquiri bar. I think they have, But I love going down there for the peppers and sausage. They're like,
But it looks
they're
like-
the best.
It looks like here that the Blue Moon Bistro,
Blue Moon Bistro.
yes, mozzarella sticks, provolone sandwich, melty provolone sandwich between sourdough garlic bread.
Mm-hmm.
Comerica fans will also find Little Caesars deep dish pizzas. Now, those are pretty good.
The deep dishes are, deep dishes are good, and they're thin crust.
Let me ask you something. And I know we're going to get to this topic on the next show in regards to food prices, so I won't go into it too much. But is it hard to pay $15 for a pizza when
No.
you know that it's like, the hot and readies are so much cheaper?
No. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because it's that experience.
Okay.
Because it goes with the territory.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now, when you get out of there, I'm not paying for no. But you're at the ballpark. So you have to go into the ballpark knowing the prices are jacked. Mm-hmm. They're the initial jackers. They started all the jacking.
Right.
So, beer's $20, pizza's $15, hot and readies are $6, brats are $6, the hot dogs are $6. So, they're gonna get you for sure when you go down there. But you're taking the family. You're taking your son. You're taking your daughter. You're taking the wife. You're taking the girlfriend. So, the girlfriend's going to want something different, or the wife.
Sure.
So, there's hot pizza.
They also are going to have on select dates on Friday through Sunday, they're going to have lobster food trucks, shrimp tacos.
Where are they? Like in front of the stadium?
It doesn't say. I would assume maybe somehow they probably could pull those somewhere in there, or maybe they have them right
probably.
outside.
Yeah,
it.
you probably could. I don't. Yeah. I mean, you got to.
I mean, they would
you
almost
got
have
carnival
to.
rides.
You almost have to pull it
Yeah.
in because they're not going to probably let you take food in.
No.
So they
Yeah,
probably
they probably got something. Yeah.
Somewhere, probably
Yeah.
over there off of left center field. That entrance over there is
Yeah.
you probably could pull a truck in there.
I got the perfect spot when I go.
I got everybody texting me tonight.
Oh, really? What's going on?
Well, Sass is texting me.
Okay. We'll get there. We got.
But I know.
Yeah. So
We're
let's look.
also, before I let you go on that one, they were going to for Heritage Nights, April 9th, Arab American Night, they'll have halal options. April 25th, Polish Night.
Okay.
They are going to have Polish Boy Sliders from Green Dot. Green Dot's a good place. I
What
like
is a
Green
Polish
Dot.
one? Is that sauerkraut with cheese?
Maybe. Something like that, maybe. Brats or something.
Yeah.
And then on Jewish night, May 27th, they're going to feature brisket sliders. Not kosher. From Green Dot Stables. Why would they sell brisket sliders not kosher?
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what it's saying here.
So these are all like new things coming out.
These are all new things coming to Comerica Park this year.
And people want, because of what the Tigers did last year, people want a winner.
Yeah.
They're expecting playoffs.
Well, let's. When do you?
They are.
When do you feel you're going to go into? These fans are going to go into panic mode if the Tigers start off slow, and they've been notorious for starting off slow. Basically, the first half of the season last year,
They're going to go
started
into
up.
they're going to go into panic mode in May.
You think so?
Yeah. If they start bad, because if you are a real fan and a real fan of the game, you know last year ain't happening again. It's just not. So I think people, they do not want that slow start. They are going to go panic mode in May. Now, hopefully the Tigers, well, I don't really care because I'm not a Tiger fan, but maybe they can put together some series,
Yeah.
A couple of
And
series.
that's how they're going to have to
Yeah,
do
they're
it.
gonna
And they're going to have to, with them not really having that power,
Yeah.
they're going to have to play small ball.
They're going to have to play any type of ball they can. Yep, they're going to have to play it small, and hopefully Torque can maintain and hit and come out of the shell and keep hitting, home runs. Help them hit an RBIs. Because the last time, when he hit 20, 22, there were no substance to them.
Mm-hmm.
That was another knock. We know the kid has power, right? But use that power when it counts. Like last night counted because it was a close ball
Sure.
game. So that was a big, you know what I'm saying? So more of that. Put it on his shoulders. Hey, you bet. They had him in the cleanup spot last night, which was very surprising. I was like, wow, okay. And I'm not expecting a guy to hit 320. I'm not. But he's got to hit 260, not 219 or 190. You know what I mean? He's
Sure.
got to, or 190. He's got to hit at least 260. Now we're being productive. You know what I'm saying? He's got to do that, and he's got to get some help. You can't leave 13 runners in scoring position. You just can't. You got to give your pitchers some help.
Around the league, your Yankees won last night. That's what you said, 42.
Yeah, they're in first place. Tied with Baltimore.
Orioles came out on top over the Blue Jays 12-2.
They scare me.
The Orioles?
Yeah. It's the toughest division in baseball.
Are you shocked the Blue Jays will only be able to put up 2 runs in the first game of the season?
No. Blue Jays they're gritty. They're it's Tampa than them, and the Blue Jays will be okay.
Red Sox 5-2 over the Rangers. Phillies
They
over the
look good.
Nationals.
They look good. Red Sox look good yesterday.
Well, they got
I got the MLB package.
they have
Yeah,
they have a pretty decent team,
they do. They scare me too.
and they picked up some good pitching. Mm-hmm. Phillies won last night over the Nationals 7-3.
Nationals stink.
Any other of these games, Marlins, Pirates, that's kind of a lackluster.
The only thing about
Padres. Go ahead.
No. The only thing about the Pirates, I love Skeens. You can him or Scooble. To me, but I love to watch that kid pitch. And they said he added another pitch, so he's just flat out filth. Flat out filth. Him and Scooble are just flat out filth. Those who and Scooble was talking earlier about some other curve he's got. It's just crazy. But yeah, around the league, some of the games I'm like, but yeah.
Skeens had a decent night last night. 5 innings, 3 hits. He gave up 2 runs, 7 strikeouts.
Yeah.
But it was the relief pitching that couldn't hold it for them.
I'm going to put Cy Young on him
Skeens.
this year. Yeah.
Padres.
I like him. I love Machado.
Is it surprising with all the players they lost?
They did lose a lot. It seems like they're always losing players. I was hoping Machado could get out of his deal and come over to New York and play third. But it's kind of they're kind of like they're going to win some games, but they're going to run into the brick wall in LA. So you kind of know where these guys are going. You kind of know where San Diego's going.
So the Royals fell apart last night, and the Guardians took that first game 7-4.
Yep.
That's those two, Royals. I think they always seem to kind of hang around.
They do.
The Central.
They do.
So, nothing. When I'm looking at the scores here,
That's kind of like the
Cardinals
NFL.
beat the Twins.
Yeah. I got to look into the Twin because the Central is kind of like the North, NFC North. Everybody's familiar.
Right.
Everybody hates each other. They're gonna fight and claw to the end. Chicago's the last one in both sports.
Sure.
Right now, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I still think Cleveland wins that division, but we will see. Because I don't really put too much stock in the Twins. They'll be around. Everybody will be around, and then you know how it goes. Somebody will fall out.
Other games: Cubs over the Diamondbacks 10-6, and the Mariners over the Athletics 4-2. Lackluster. Is there? We talked about this last week. The Dodgers are going to pretty much have the run of the. Do you think they have a possibility with this team to maybe set the win
record. Which one was it? Who did it? Yankees?
probably. I'd have to look at that.
Yeah.
That just came up.
Check that out.
That just came up.
They're 4-0. They're 4-0 right now. 3-0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, of course they're going to have to stay healthy.
Well, it's really hard to beat them when the Hall of Famer is fifth in the rotation. I think Kershaw's fifth in the rotation. That's insane.
So, for 95 years, the 1906 Cubs recorded 116 victories. That stood untouched until the Mariners in 2001.
Was that A-Rod and them?
It had to be.
It had to be A-Rod and Jr.
Isn't that surprising? Now, I would have never have thought that.
And Jay Buhner and all them.
Well, but
That was an
here's
awesome
what's
team.
impressive. If the Cubs won 116 back in they only played 54 games.
Right.
116 and 36. They were that. And they lost in the World Series.
Wow. Yeah, because that's the curse.
And then the 2001 Mariners were 116 and 46, and they lost in the ALC
In the ALC.
and the ALCS.
Yep. Yeah, that was
Yep, that was
Alex.
Randy Johnson, Ken Griffey Jr., A-Rod,
Loaded.
Ichiro Suzuki was
Loaded.
on that team.
Jay Buhner, was he still with him?
It's possible. I don't see that right here. Let's see.
No,
I'm
no,
sure
no, no, he wasn't. Because Ichiro played right. Junior played center.
The All-Star game was in Seattle that year, and they had 4 starters. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
The things that come up.
Yeah, I love that team. Junior's my favorite player. Well, Alex is my favorite
But
player.
they lost to your ALCS.
Yankees.
To the Yankees.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeet, Alex, and Junior. Those are my favorite players.
Yankees are 3. 1998, 114 to 48.
Yep.
They won the World Series that year.
They were on a roll.
Cleveland in 1954 won 11 and 43.
Okay.
Lost in the World Series. The 2022 Dodgers won 11 and 51. Lost in the NLDS. It's funny when you look at these. A lot of these teams that have these big records, they
Don't end
always
up
seem
winning.
to flame out in the playoffs.
Don't end up winning the playoffs. Yeah. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How many games did the Tigers win this year?
This year?
Yeah. 80 and under or over 80?
I think 80. I think over 80.
Think over 80?
I think they could push 81, 82. So I would say about a little over 500.
Next question. Do they make the playoffs?
I think they have looking at other teams in the AL. I think they definitely could get a wild card spot.
So you think
I don't think they're going to. I don't know if they would.
so the best teams in the AL, it'll be Yankees, Houston, Baltimore, Boston. Right? Those 4?
Baltimore, Yankees, Guardians,
That's 5.
and then
Everything
Astros
else?
always kind of hang
Yeah.
around.
Houston, Boston, Baltimore, Tampa Bay's finicky. I don't think they do, but they're so yeah, it's going to be hard. So Cleveland, especially if Cleveland wins the division, like the Tigers need to win the division because it's going to be hard. Because like you say, you got Houston, Boston, Baltimore, New York, Tampa Bay's feisty. You never know what you're going to get with Seattle.
Yeah.
But this is the fun part to me. Like, I can watch an entire baseball game. I have no problem with it. That's why I got the MLB package, just to see like what's going on around the league.
Sure,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So this is the fun part of the year for me. Yeah.
So what do you think they do tonight?
I think they lose tonight. I think they lose the series.
Do you think they lose? Do you think they lose all 3?
I think they lose all 3. And here's why. The Dodgers from like 5 on down is better than a lot of teams 1 through 5 hitting. They just have everything. They just have everything. So I think they lose this series. I think they get swept, actually.
So where do you think they go after this? They head to Seattle. You think they redeem themselves?
I think so.
You think they come back close to 500?
Yep, because Scoob's going to throw one. So that's one. Yeah. Seattle is a winnable series because you never know what you're going to get. I haven't seen Seattle. I don't know what's going on over there yet. I will be watching them like I watch everybody. But, yeah, that's a winnable series. But you cannot leave those runners in scoring. If they can score, the Tigers need to, on average, score at least 5 runs.
Well, they're going to have to.
You're going to have to.
Especially when you're playing the Dodgers.
Yeah,
you have to score runs.
You have to score runs. You have to, any way that you can.
I mean, that's a given.
Any case you can. And then, so I looked at, so your guy, Torque, he took off. That's kind of an iffy play. He was on third. Somebody swung out of his sock. I forgot who was up to bat. But it was like a swinging bunt. And Torque flew off. He was already gone because he did do some good base running. It was a base hit. He had already made up his mind. He was going from first to third. He had already made it. He had a good secondary, everything. That's stuff like, little stuff like that. That's what you have to do. But then he was on third, swinging bunt, and it looked like he just took off on contact. And Snell was like, and then they got him going back to third, which kind of, I thought, cost him a run. It's stuff like that, that they're going to have to kind of clean up and make sure that they don't.
I think his mentality,
I think it was just
from what I've seen, through spring training and then even in that first game, his mentality's kind of changed a little bit. I think
looks dialed in.
I think he looks dialed in.
He's dialed in at the plate.
He changed up his swing a little bit.
Yeah, you have to.
And he had to.
You got to make something work.
Right.
You got to do something.
And it seems to be he seems to be carrying over from spring training.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, I mean, if they could get 30 home runs out of him again.
It's not going to surprise me if he hits 20. It's not going to surprise me. I think that, to be honest with you, I think they got to lock him in at first. Make him your first baseman. Make him your first baseman and your number 4 hitter.
So, let me ask you this.
I don't know what to do.
They signed Cole Keith to that big extension last year. When do you think, if he doesn't play well, that they send him back down to get some more reps in?
Who, Torque?
No.
Colt?
Cole Keith. Or do you think it's now? I mean, they went with him all year last year. Or do you think? And I know this is just speculation after the first game. I'm not trying to, cause any controversy here. But I mean, you got to think about that. He's just, he's second. You seen how Torkelson kind of slumped last year, and they had to send him back. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to Keith.
Yeah.
But
this is what I would do. To be honest with you, I would just. Since third is the shakiest, you got 2 second basemen. Try one of those 2 second basemen at third.
Torres? Would you move Torres?
Torres or Keith?
But Torres has played short, correct?
He played a little short. Yep.
I wonder.
Third is reacting.
And I know we said this a little earlier.
If you want to fit them all in,
maybe Colt Keith moving to first. Maybe that could affect him psychologically.
And it could affect Torque psychologically.
Maybe they move him back to second.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they're going to do it anyway, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And Torres is here for a year. He's not coming back here. He's not.
And
He's not
if he
sign
has
again.
a good year and the Tigers are out of the hunt. But then again, they traded Flaherty and they were in the hunt at the deadline.
Yeah. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think the Tigers are going to be very plug and play over the next month or two.
It's very plug and play. It's like throwing darts. Yeah, it's just like, troop. And Keith.
The analytics of it all.
Yeah. He could not hit his way out of the lineup. So that could happen too. He could stab his own self in the foot.
Because when do he's 0 for 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he'll probably be back in the lineup tonight. I don't see the lineups as of yet.
Well, the pitching won't get easy.
No.
You know, it won't get any easier.
I mean, they're.
I mean, Snell's Godzilla
Right.
too. He's the one to punch a sight.
And they're the Dodgers are a dominant staff.
Yeah.
They really are.
So it's not going to be easy. So we'll see. Like I said, I would try Glaber over there.
Because you're going to have to face Ohtani. I'm sure he's going to pitch this year.
Well, I don't know. He's going to. I don't know if he's ready this series.
Okay.
They said he might. I honestly think Ohtani will, at the end of the day, will never pitch, like a lot. I think the pitching side.
You think that's kind of run its course?
Yeah, it's going to run its course. It's too hard for him to. It's too much on the body to hit and go out there and throw 100 consistently, 90. You know, it's too much. It's too much, and then that's going to affect your swing. It's just too much because now you have enough pitching. You don't really need Ohtani. I mean, it's never. Well, you never have enough pitching. Let me rephrase that. But in that situation, lead him off DH. Let him just hit and destroy the baseball. He's going to hit over 40 home runs again. Let him just concentrate on hitting.
That is true. Well, do you have anything else left here?
No, I'm looking forward.
Tiger information.
They played tonight.
They play tonight.
I'm looking forward to that. It's a Friday.
It's a Friday.
That
You
way I
gotta
can
love
watch the whole
Friday.
game. I have to go to bed.
And of course, will be on Thursday nights. We just came in on a Friday tonight
To let the game
so
play
that
out.
to let the
Yeah.
game play out
Yep.
on Thursday
Yep.
because we wouldn't have been able to get in until before. We wouldn't have been able to get in. It had to have been before the game, but a lot to look forward to, folks. I mean, it's going to be an interesting Detroit Tigers season.
It is.
And I think they could go. I think they could come back here
But they definitely can sweep the White Sox.
500.
Yeah. Okay.
3-3, coming
need-
back to Detroit.
They need to. They need to. They need to come back 500.
Work out the kinks a little bit against the Goliaths of the NL.
Yep. Yep.
And
Seattle will be a little calmer.
Yeah.
Then you get the White Sox. So yeah, they come back here 500, and yeah, they need to. They need to because right now, like I said, the Tigers stink on paper, but on paper don't mean nothing.
Right.
Because baseball, you got to go out. You got to go out there and play.
Sure.
You got to go out there and play. And like I said, Freeman tore the cover off the ball in the World Series.
That's true.
So he didn't do much. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those games, one of those days. So come back 500. That'll
And
be
you
good for
hate to
him.
over-speculate,
Right.
right?
Right. And I love AJ.
Right.
Love him.
Well, folks, thank you for tuning into the Roar Live tonight. The Tigers, Eyes on the Tiger edition. I got to get used to that.
Well, we got
we got the Roar Live
Yeah.
with the Lions. That we had a
Yeah.
good time doing that.
Yeah, that was a good time.
The Eyes
time.
on the Tigers
Yep.
edition.
Yep.
And we'll be here each and every week on Thursdays.
Yes.
Thursday evenings. And we want to hear from you folks.
Please call
It's
in.
up on the Kavana Broadcast Network YouTube site, also the My Michigan TV YouTube site.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's a QR code that's been popping up on the screen that you can get in on the action. We'd love to hear and chat Tigers with you
We're
throughout
going to
the
get some
season.
callers. And then next week will be great, too, because you have this series
Yeah.
and you have the next series to cover. So
Looking
yeah.
forward to
Yeah.
opening day in Detroit.
Yep.
And all the new food items that they have down there at the stadium. And
Are you going down?
I'm going to stay at home.
Okay.
I'm not a big crowd guy.
Yeah, it's a mess. It gets to be a mess. And I'm sure it'll rain.
Oh, of course.
Or
it'll
snow.
be 40 degrees.
Right.
Right. All right, everybody. Well, that'll be all for tonight. We will be back next Thursday right here on the Kavana Broadcast Network and My Michigan TV YouTube. I'm Scotty Williams. That is Corey Tiez. And Jared is manning the control room. We'll see you next week, folks, for another